Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. It's Monday, which means it's fan comments. Yes, yes, it's yeah. I'm just come from work, and actually, I've got a few things I need to do. But I thought, let me get this segment, the first of the week, up and running. You probably can probably see there's a bit of flickering, and yeah, it's the light in the room that I'm actually using. So if the lights go out, it's not like we haven't paid the bills. We have, I think. But yeah, let's get into it. It's fan comments, and what more is there I can say? So yeah, like I said, it's a fan comments, the first segment of the week. Now, as you probably will be very, very fully aware, there hasn't been any football in action for quite a few weeks, and as well, content creators, we're trying our absolute best to try and keep you guys entertained, a bit of escapism, if you want to call it that. So, what I've actually been doing, as well as trying to actually doing the usual segments, I have done an additional segment, which is the player profile. Now, these player profiles, you won't see me doing any kind of current players. Yeah, I like to do nostalgic bits and pieces of footballing news, and this segment has been the player profiles of players over the last 40 or maybe even 50 years. So all these comments that you guys have religiously and kindly been putting on Cannon Fodder TV are related to this new segment, which is the player profile. So let me just get through just a few of them, and then I'll open up the chat if any of you guys are coming in from work. No, not from work. Who that's just tuning in now, and you want to get involved, come into the chat and ask me the questions, or yeah, we'll just take it from there, really. So, right, the first one comes from Montaz Ahmed, who says he's put this comment in regards to the Linigan player profile that I did, and he actually said that I should make the content a little bit more interesting. So I said to him, well, what do you think I need to do to make the segment more interesting? He says, have a few guests and come up with a debate. People love arguments. Well, clearly he hasn't been watching Cannon Fodder TV, because if he did, he would see every Friday we have the Easy Talk, where we have a panel of guests and we have a debate and a laugh and a hoo-ha in the process. But thanks for that comment. And then the next one comes from Stan the Man, or Stan the Geezer, like I like to say. He says, even though he looked, actually, he's talking about the Will Tour play profile that I did. He says that even though he looked a bit like a dolphin, I was quite fond of Wiltord. A good video, mate. Like a dolphin. Does it like a dolphin? And then he's proposing that I could do the next video profile could be on Andre Arshavin, which I did. What else do I have here? I've got one here from Benicio Solano, who says it was a coincidence because last week I watched videos on Sylvan Wiltord. I thought Wiltord was a good footballer player. His main skill was speed. Always amazing footballer together with Thierry Henry. My question is for you. Do you think Chamak is an underrated player? I always ask myself. Well, last year I did do. It was then the segment was Arsenal in news, and I featured a Shamak because that time it was his birthday, and I did say Shamak was underrated at the time that he came to Arsenal, and he left Arsenal as well. I've got Arsenal Vlogs, Luca, who says, and he's referring to the Arshvin player profile that I did. He said he was good at first when he came to Arsenal, but Arsenal broke him because he refused to play him towards the end of his career at Arsenal. And then I've got Mube Guna, who actually says, just give me a second, who says, I remember the fuss when we signed this guy. I'd like to say one of those players, can make something out of nothing, and yeah, he did. Again, and when I did the segment, I actually thought that he was a really talented player, but with most geniuses, there can be a little bit flawed. But I just thought, yeah, he could have given Arsenal a little bit more, at his time. And I do remember when I did mention in player profile that he got. Did he get booed? I don't think he got booed. I do remember when he did come there, the substitution. I think it was he was taken off at the time, and there was boos that rang out. But yeah, and the next one I've got here, which just bear me a second, is sorry, just bear me. I've just lost it. Ah, it comes from Glenn, the new improved Glenn Kitely, who says, very good one, Alex. My IQ rose after this, and he's referring to the Easy Talk. Yes, the Easy Talk that's gone on Friday, where we had an absolute, peach of a panel of guests there. Right, let's have a look. Has there been anyone coming into the chat? No, there hasn't. I guess people are off, doing more important things than just watching this segment of the East Talk, which is fair enough. Like I've always said, there's more important things than football, in life. But it's okay. It's all right. So we're gone. We're gonna go onwards and upwards, and I'll just do one more comment. Another one from this one comes from Tim, who says, "Nice video," and he's referring to the Sammy Nelson player profile that I did. So, keep it up, dude. Awesome video. You deserve more views. And then another one from Luca from Arsenal Vlogs. He also says a good video. So, is there any more? Just give me the opportunity just to say to you guys to make sure that you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV on all platforms, not only on Twitter and Facebook, but also on YouTube. We are up and running. Right, the one more, and this has come from Mube Guna, who says, and actually, because this Friday we've got the East Talk, but it's back with a bang. Yes, if we couldn't get any louder, yes, an even louder bang with the Mafia. That's Stan the Geezer or Stan the Man, IG, aka Indian Guna, and Mube. Yes, the Mafia are going to be back this Friday, 7 p.m. UK time. So, if you've got any questions, make sure you put your comments or questions in the box after this segment of the fan comments, or on our Twitter handle, which is Cannon Fodder TV or at Cannon Fodder TV. Right. So as of now, there are no other comments to be read. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who took the time to pen the comments on the channel, because I know in these difficult times, people are really scratching their heads for content. Oh, the light's just gone. I didn't say. Scratching their heads really to create, content for you guys. Those of you who were kind enough to put the comments on the new segment, which is the player profile. Remember, guys, if you want me to feature your favorite player, put the comments in the box, at the end, either on the segment or at the end of fan comments, and I will do my best to do the research and actually upload the video of the player profile that you have asked me to do. There's been one comment from Glenn Kitely, the new and improved Glenn, who says, "Hi Alex, I hope all is well." Yes, all is well and blooming and fine over here. I am actually still working. I'm a key worker over here in the UK, which means I have to continue working unless the government says stop working, Alex, stop working. In which case, I will stop working. But yeah, we're going to continue doing the content. Come hell or rain or sun or shine. Remember, every Monday is the fan comments. It's a little bit later because I'm still working. I'll continue to do the player profile, depending on players you want me to do. And of course, every Friday, 7 p.m. UK time, is the Easy Talk. This Friday is going to be a blast because we're going to have the Mafia. Yes, the scareful Mafia. The scareful? Is that such a word? Scareful? The scary Mafia is going to be back in the house. So make sure you stay tuned and hit the notification button. There's not been any other comments. So I've said my thank yous to everyone. I've read all the comments. Any other questions in the comments box? Let's just have a quick look here. No, that's it. That's it for me. Ah, right. There was one other actually from Stan the Man who says it's very hard to pick just one. And actually he was referring to a question I put out about, I can't remember what was the question. I think there's a case for a little from each. Gonna go for I can't decide. I can't remember what was the question. What was the question I put on the channel? Let's have a look. Oh yes, right. What Stan was referring to was the scouting of players over the last 10 years has been the main problem at Arsenal, and the options were yes, it has, which has come in so far 33%. The scouting and the board are to blame. That came in so far at 38% of people have voted for. No, the players' mentality is to blame. That's 19%. And the last one, as what Standard Manager referring to, is I can't really decide. And I think he's right. It's probably an element of all these that has contributed to the scouting at Arsenal. Terrible. And like we said on the Easy Talk, Arsenal have got to source better players. You can't be bringing in players. Whether it doesn't matter whether it's on loan, or we've signed a player on a long-term deal. The player is injured. We're in a difficult situation as it is, and you're looking to sign players on loan deals or transfer deals, and the player is injured. What kind of craziness is that? And if you guys, I'm not sure if you take some time, go back and view the last Easy Talk that we did on Friday. We're in a tight situation as it is. The majority of the signs that we have at Arsenal have been panic buys. They've been panic buys there. So if you want an upturn in the quality of players that we're bringing there, stop doing panic buys. Take your time. Let the scouting do their job. Don't bring in players that are already injured. Don't bring players in who have a history of being injured. Bring in young, hungry, I was going to say British players, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. If you're bringing grassroots players, they're going to have a passion and an understanding of what it means to be an Arsenal player. But it doesn't guarantee that the player will bring you what you want. It doesn't. But, again, look at the example. Look at the documentary 89 with George Graham. He got rid of a lot of the players who weren't doing it. And he brought in young, hungry players who didn't cost, the earth. Chris Wilder has done it, Sheffield United. Why can't we do it at Arsenal? Don't bring in players that are injured. Anyway, that's enough of my of my rant. Let me quickly go back into the chat. I got an oldie here. DJ Fury, what's happening, man? Evening, bro. Hope you're keeping well and keeping safe. Listen, depending on how the season goes, because I saw the news today where the deputy chief medical officer was saying after 3 weeks we're going to review the situation with the coronavirus. Then we're going to review it again for another 3 months. Yes, 3 months, and then another 6 months just to make sure that everyone in this country is clear of coronavirus. So you're talking about best part of 6-7 months. There's not going to be any Premier League action. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourselves, man. Yeah. What I was going to say is literally, last season we had a meet-up with the guys, the Cannon Fodder TV crew. Colin, from the defunct now Much Arsenal. Who else do we have? We had DJ Fury, we had my brother. and somebody, I can't remember the other person's name, but we can't do it now. We can't have another end of season meetup, but we could probably do it on on the internet, brother DJ. But again, I hope you're keeping well. Keep safe. Make sure you're taking all the precautions. Yeah, and I hope your family is keeping well as well. And then Glenn, come back as well. Best ever opposition played in the. I can't think now. I think there's been so many, But that's a good question. I'll put it out to everyone who's watching now. I know there's 5 people now. Best ever opposition played. I'm gonna go back in time, and I will say under Unai Emery, when we played against Tottenham. Again, I hope you guys can see it because I've only got one light bulb working now. When we played against the old enemy Tottenham, yeah, the 4-2. When we just beat the hell out of them. For me, that was it. And you know what? My wife will tell you that I'm a bit of a softie, but that time I cried, man. I cried watching the game there. But yeah, maybe that could be a question I'll put actually on my YouTube channel or actually on the Twitter. So the best ever opposition player in the EPL. Yeah, I'll have a think about that one actually. Anything else? Anything else? No, there's nothing else. But guys, again, I've been going for 16 minutes now. I really appreciate your time coming on Cannon Fodder TV and actually getting into the chat. I know there's been a slight upturn, a very small upturn in the number of subscribers, but we've lost subscribers, and that happens. It happens on YouTube, as you got to take the rough with the smooth. You know what I mean? So as much as we've had a small upturn, we've lost some viewers, and again, these things happen. These things happen. There's nothing else to report, to be honest. I think I'm gonna call this segment of the fan comments to an end before I lose the last bulb. There's no light here. So unless there's any other questions, you guys, in the chat, I'll wrap it up. I think I'll answer your question, Glenn. Opposition player, Drogba. Drogba. I hated it when Arsenal had to play against Chelsea because as day follows night, you would know Drogba will score a goal against Arsenal. Tough striker. I played football. I would never. I played in defence. Drogba would have been a nightmare for me. But yeah, I think answer your question. Best ever opposition player. Back in the day, I think Drogba. I mean, for me. But I think that could be a question that we put out actually on the YouTube channel. Listen, anyone who's watching now, again, make sure you subscribe, like, share to Cannon Fodder TV on all platforms. I always say, remind you, and also hit the notification button because you people always saying, "Oh, we didn't receive the latest video because you didn't press the notification button." And press all notifications, not some notifications. Yeah. I think that's going to be it for me because I've got other bits and pieces to do. I've got to do my player profiles the next 2. They're going to be absolute corkers, so make sure you look out for that. Again, make sure you look out for the Easy Talk coming this Friday. I know it's only Monday. It's going to be a few days away, and it's going even more slowly as well as knowing that people really can't leave their homes. But I thank you guys so dearly from the bottom of my heart. So does my brother, my who is he? He's my co-host, yeah, on Cannon Fodder TV. But yeah, guys, thank you so very, very much. And Glenn said that Rooney for me, every single game we couldn't cope. Yeah, and even even in recent times, we can't cope with Harry Kane. He always, again, he always scores a goal against us. And you would have thought, Arsenal would have a plan for players who consistently score against Arsenal. And I'm not absolutely sure. I think that's going to be my homework. Which player has scored so many goals against Arsenal? Which opposition player, unless someone can come in the chat and tell me, which opposition, can't even say the word, opposition player has scored the most goals against Arsenal? Right. I'm going to call this segment to an end. So again, if you're watching now or at a later stage on replay or rewind or whatever you want to call it, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV on all platforms, and also press the like. I never actually said to you guys, make sure you hit the like button. Does it help to send you up the rankings? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. But if it does, yeah, just press the like button, and also share the content amongst your friends. Look out for the player profile coming. There's going to be 2 this week, and yeah. Every time I want to end it, there's always someone coming into the chat. I've got who's this? Ramis, who says, "What you think of the mid trio?" What do you mean, the mid trio? The mid trio? I think you probably need to give me a little bit more information than that. What do you mean by that? What do I think of that mid trio? Yeah, that's. You need to give me a little bit more information than that, Ramses. Okay, listen, I'm gonna call the segment to an end. Again, guys, make sure you subscribe, like, and share content on all platforms. And listen, if you've been wondering who or what you've been watching, you have been watching Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans, literally all over this world. And today, there's no breaking news.